Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We take a look at Bitcoin from an Elliott Wave point of view. We are going to start on the daily time frame. I don't do that in every video. We do that, however, nearly every day, taking a look at the daily chart. A lot of you asked me today if I could review the daily again. I will only do that briefly. I did that yesterday and I think in my first video today. I know it's helpful to know always where we are on the daily time frame to understand the context, but it would simply be very repetitive if I was doing that in every video. But just a comment, as a channel member, you get access to all of our live charts on TradingView. So you could always have that open in parallel. You see our live charts on TradingView, also the daily time frame chart you can access there. So if you're interested, it's too cheap anyway, that membership. So you can have a look if you're interested, right? You get access as a silver or gold member to all our TradingView live charts. That's just as a side note, because I think a lot of people don't know that we offer our TradingView live charts basically within that membership. Where are we? I mean, the idea is that we're currently in this fourth wave. That's currently the working count, the main scenario. The price so far is trying to reverse in our support area, in our trend reversal area, where it's supposed to reverse, but it's too weak at this stage. It's only a 3-wave rally, but that's sort of the idea. And in the fifth wave, it should take us to, well, minimally 55 to 60K. I need to calculate that basically, right? But we haven't got a confirmed low in place anyway, so there's no point. But overall, all-time high targets, 125K. Below 35K, we should move into a B-wave pullback, but it's the 35K level that distinguishes between the two. That's just as a very short summary. I'll do that tomorrow again in a bit more detail. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame. The situation here hasn't changed. This is basically the idea where on the 1 hour time frame in which a third wave likely topped. In the white scenario here on the 11th of January, we are likely in a fourth wave. The fourth wave might have bottomed here. Basically, what it means is one more low cannot be ruled out. We could still get one more low, but it's a very aggressive fourth wave then in this C wave. In the short-term bearish scenario, this is an A wave down, A wave, a B wave up, and the C wave down. And we had a wave 1 in wave C, a wave 2, a 3, yeah, a wave 4. This is now very aggressive, but still within the scope of what is valid. It's not likely anymore, but it's valid. And then a wave 5 to the downside could still happen. That's one scenario in which another low could happen. However, this will be invalidated with a break above the wave 2 high at around 42.9K. So if we see a break above that level, it cannot be a wave 4 anymore, okay? With one more wave 5 to come. However, it could be a larger correction, like an X wave, which is also a corrective structure. So above 42.9K, it's either bullish, breakout, or an X wave. How can we determine the difference? It's quite straightforward by looking at the structure. I explained to you in the previous video that the yellow count shows a breakout scenario. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. It now needs a wave 4 and a wave 5. We need to see 5 waves, okay? If we get 5 waves, we have another level of confidence that a low has already been established. And essentially, what do we want? Reminder, we want it to bottom somewhere in the yellow box because this is basically a valid setup. It's a wave 4, yeah? And somewhere in here, it should form a low and we should move up higher. But it's not confirmed yet. Be aware that in any larger correction, there are a lot of corrective rallies. Sometimes they go higher than you would think is reasonable. That happens every time in every correction in crypto, 3-wave rallies. That is why I often say a reasonable strategy is to add positions, scale in slowly as the price comes into these support areas. Essentially, what are they? They are trend reversal areas in which the price in this scenario should ideally reverse. Okay, and then when the market makes profits available, you can just take some profits and move up the stop loss. So now, what have we observed also in the previous video? You know about it. We've seen the wave 1, we've seen a wave 2. The wave 3 reached the ideal target, 42,266. That's the level I gave you as ideal target. Let's look at what I posted on Twitter earlier today, or let's call it the X network, okay? that was like a few hours ago. The price was around, it approached that target area there, and it approached the 1.236 extension and the 1.38 extension, and that was at 41,960. I think the price was already a little higher. I posted that I assume that wave 3 will finish somewhere in this region, but ideally it stretches a little higher. It did exactly that. I suspect we might see a slow wave 4 weekend, which is the yellow wave 4, during which the price may test the orange support zone. This support needs to hold to keep the impulsive potential alive in the yellow scenario. Yeah, the yellow 5-wave pattern here on the screen will give us an indication that circle 5, basically the overall white circle wave 5 that I just showed you on the daily time frame, 2 new 2024 highs has begun. But let's see if the pattern can complete first. So basically what happened, by the way, if you want to stay up to date, feel free to follow us on Twitter, the X Network. The official link can be found in the description. Please only use the official one. There are impersonators out there. We post some intraday market updates on Twitter, on the X Network. Not as many as in the gold membership. Far more there. But if you're interested to understand what's sort of the style of our signals, of our updates, you can check them out here. There are just a few, also from yesterday, but we post many more in our gold membership. Also, we post them there first, but you know. Okay, so let's take a look back at let's go back to the daily, to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so what happened? It essentially stretched a little higher and is now turning around exactly where I thought it would. Was that a guess? No, it was not a guess. It shows the power of the Fibonacci levels, because the minimum target for the third wave was the 1.236 extension, the ideal one at the 1.38. Yeah, and that there's a slight gap of like $20 is probably because I didn't put the fibs in the right place, you know, accuracy. Okay, so we see that pullback. The support area is now between 40,814 and 41,545. So ideally the market holds this area. I assume that over the weekend we're going to see a sideways action. And if the market can hold 40,814, a fifth wave is still basically what we're watching for, not necessarily an expectation, because at the moment we're coming from a downtrend. The expectation is that, or the mindset needs to be, let the market tell us what's going on. There's never a need to impose our views on the markets. We let the market tell us if it wants to be bullish. If these 5 waves form, we can watch for a 3-wave pullback, which at the same time will be another trade setup. So I need a healthy wave 4. It's not good if it continues to escalate higher now, then it would just be an ABC. I think most people wanted to bottom somewhere. So ideally it stretches a little lower, obviously over the weekend. I think it might take a couple of days into that region here, and then spend a bit of time there, and then maybe towards Sunday or Monday. That's just obviously not a crystal ball prediction, but it's sort of what currently I would see as very reasonable expectation, given that weekends are typically a bit more quiet. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. If you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular stocks updates, then also check out our more trading online stock service in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.